So the next one we got here is your story you brought up, which is our friends. Well, I'm going to say my friends over to the west of me, and people on the east for you. So it's about China. So what's going on over there?
Yeah, it's like I said, it actually popped up on my phone like right before I sat down to talk to you, but I haven't really dove deep into this article, but the picture is crazy, and I sent it to you to look at.
I'm going to post up on screen for everybody on editing for this. So yeah.
So it's a submarine, right? It's I think a satellite image is what the article says of one of their subs submerged, and it's going into like a what seems to look like some sort of underwater base or inside like a cave.
Yeah,
I think it looks like mainland China. I think it's mainland. That's what I'm trying to figure out, if it's one of like those islands they're building in like the South China Sea, or if it's the
here.
actual mainland.
Let's see. It's not really saying much. Let me look at see if there's a map. It doesn't show where it's at exactly.
So it looks like it's the Yulin Navy base. It's like just south. It looks like just south of like Hong Kong. It's like a little island, like just off the mainland, actually.
Oh yeah,
So
Yulin Naval Base. Here we
yeah,
go. Underground facility with covered tram from magazine to loading areas. And I was telling you, man, I was like, if China's doing this, we have to have something like this. I wouldn't put it past us. It makes sense. Obviously, have some kind of overhead covering for your subs. You need
right.
protection for them. Obviously, Pearl Harbor and stuff like that. And you being a sub guy looking at this, is there any considerations you can think of, like just for sub maneuverability or anything like that? Just it's a
Uh,
tight space. It looks like.
yeah, I wouldn't say necessarily maneuverability, right? But not going too deep into this because this kind of dangerous waters.
Oh yeah,
But
no.
uh,
I'm not saying.
it seems everything that we try to do in the subforce is we try to keep it covered because things like satellite images. Um, so maybe it's just kind of their version of protecting what they're doing, right? Like we have our
Yeah,
methods, so maybe it's just their version, but that just
yeah.
seems like a mass amount of money to like build like an in mountain base just to hide something that you could hide by just building some sort of like covering over a pier,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah, definitely. No, you bring up a good point because I think it was World War II where we were creating like I don't know if you remember, like nettings over airfield areas to like hide aircraft, where
right,
when they would take images from the sky, that it would look like there's not really much there, but there really was, and like people would alter patterns. And also even looking at the Pentagon, there's a building in the center of the Pentagon, which was actually a hot dog stand that they thought was like this, top secret area because everyone was going there. And the Russians during the Cold War were looking, and the intel they gathered, they were like, something serious has to be going on there. And really, it was just a hot dog stand
just
that,
the lunch break spot.
yep, that everyone went to go eat at. So it's kind of funny to see like how you can misconstrue stuff like that. But yeah, and then even here they've got the image. I'm gonna make this larger for myself here. It looks like they're able to show everything on this base as far as where the subtunnel's at. Are you able to look at the whole image here?
Yeah, see, like there's like four piers here, and I mean,
There's
like you said, like
we have tunnel entrances here. They're able to tell how many meters wide this is. 16 meters wide. Camouflage, and they have camouflage netting over staging. Okay. So yeah, remember what I was talking about? That's what I'm talking about, the netting. So yeah,
right.
it looks like they're trying to cover some stuff up. They have
It's kind of crazy that like this is on like a news website. Like
this is
this,
on the internet for
yeah,
people, like this is Google Earth. Google Earth has just uncovered everything.
that's kind of
Um,
wild.
yeah. So as far as I mean, have you been deployed over to South China
Uh,
Sea area?
I've only been to Fifth Fleet,
Oh, okay.
so like
Yeah.
the Gulf area.
Yeah. No, I will tell you this. I have had my own interactions with intelligence gathering against me. I don't know if it was this country or a different one. I'm going to keep that very vague, and I'm not really sure
Country
because,
X.
yeah, country X. where I was somewhere and I was being followed. And it was very scary. Like, I've never been in that situation where the reality that someone could get your name off of a uniform, someone could gather your intelligence, and what that meant for not only you but your family. Like, we're on social media now, where like I can find somebody very quickly and be like, oh, and then their sister's Sally and their mom is
Right.
Susie, and it's getting pretty crazy.
It is.
The intelligence level of how that is. It really is becoming scary, especially because people don't know their footprint. I obviously
Right.
know we're on YouTube right now making this content. We're putting ourselves out there and we're trying to control that. But for some people, they have no idea
Right.
at all.
Yeah, it's wild, and then, the whole like TikTok thing and all that. Like, again, like there are all these conspiracies about that being owned by like China, and it's crazy, man. Like, just like I'm just curious on how things will be in like 10, 15, 20 years from now. Of just, I mean, your entire life is like documented,
Yeah.
right? Like, and I mean, it's even happening now, like in politics and things like that. Like, they're being able to like pull stuff up from the past, and you're uh accused and judged off stuff that you said, you know 20 years ago when you're a 17-year-old kid, right? But like
Yeah.
now, like what people our age are doing when we're 60, just how is this going to be used against us? Or, I
Yeah.
mean, because it just seems like that's always the intent, right? Is to just use it against you. Like it's
Yeah.
never anything good.
Well, I mean, if you look back at your own photos, you're like, oh, that's cool. I remember that, like that deployment or whatever else, right? Like that's where it becomes good. But it's
Right.
the only person that ever sees that as good is typically you, right? Like,
You
so when
exactly.
it's a wide audience, it's usually negative.
Right.
Going back to the TikTok stuff and that, um, I wanted to bring up something I haven't thought of yet that I wanted to report on. But military TikTok, I've talked about before, where it's been banned at the Air Force Academy. Actually, it's banned off government phones. It's banned pretty much everywhere. And then there was that deal with Microsoft that happened. But everyone's talking about that, and I was like, TikTok, in my opinion, is done. Like, and
Yeah.
I know that's crazy, but the fact that Instagram came out with Reels, and people were like, this isn't going to take off. And I said, you guys said that about video. You guys said that about
Right.
the stories.
Mm-hmm.
This is just a third thing that's going to happen. TikTok's done, especially with the pressure from the U.S. and India. Like, I don't think the app can survive much longer. It's going to end up being like maybe like a Snapchat, like a very small app versus what it is right now.
Right. I think if what they're saying about it's true, right? And I haven't really dove, deep into if it's actually true or not, right? If China's actually using it to spy on us. But I mean, a lot of our stuff they can't use over there, right? Like, like Facebook, stuff like that. So why, if it's truly owned by them, right? Why should we give them that inlet over here, right? But it's the culture aspect of it too, right? Like, you have all these 17, 16, 18-year-old kids who became like TikTok famous, right? And that's all they know. And now, that group thinks it's unfair that that's being taken away from them. But if you kind of take a step back, right? Older people like us just
how irrelevant that is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Like how if that's actually what's happening with that app, like the gravity of that situation is way more important.
Do you have a TikTok? Have you been on TikTok?
I don't know.
All right, so I'll tell you this right now. I downloaded it to watch some. Like, it's great. The algorithm just to watch other people. It's a great app, and I'd watch some things like, yeah, I get it. But then when I'd see the numbers, I'm like, they seem fake. Does it make sense? Like, the numbers seem like they're fluffed. Like, it's not real. And I'm like, this person has 2 million followers, and they're getting like 100 views on this TikTok. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. And I'm looking through it, and people try to explain to me like, well, they could have that if this. And I'm like, but still, I don't. It seems weird to me that there's no consistency.
It's funny that you say that to me, because like a few of like the younger guys on my boat like have it, and I always like walk into like the birthing head and they're like recording something. I'm like what the hell are you doing, dude?
Of
Um,
course.
and like, but like a few of them have said like they had like thousands of, I don't know if it's followers or whatever it is on
Yeah.
TikTok, but like after like the third or fourth person said to me that they have like, X tens of thousands of like views, like that doesn't seem right. Like why are so many people like taking off on the app, right? Like you're just a Joe
It,
Schmo. Like
yeah.
it just doesn't make it doesn't make
It's
sense.
it sounds like everybody and their mom is now a TikToker. Like, oh, maybe that's the whole ploy. Maybe they're like,
True.
and it makes people do more content if they think they're actually getting more interaction than they are. Does that make
I mean,
sense?
I mean, it's essentially like a Vine, right? That's like, I
Yeah.
mean, Vine was like huge, like when I was in college. That's like essentially what it is, right? It's just
Yeah.
like short videos. Okay.
Yeah, but you can kind of edit it together, and it's become more of like a meme thing. But I'll tell you this, man, with the music on TikTok, like I cannot listen to any of those songs anymore. Like when they come on the radio or someone plays them, I'm sounding old saying on the radio, but when it comes on somewhere, I'm like, I can't, like I just don't like the songs anymore. But
TikTok ruined it for you.
yeah, no, definitely. And so the reason why I was going to say it's done as well is because people are just posting TikToks to Instagram. Like they're copying them, and I'm like, so if you cut out having to transfer it over and you can do it on Instagram, it makes it irrelevant on TikTok. You know what I mean? Makes you no reason to go there, especially with the install base of Instagram. So, hey, I hope you guys are enjoying this small clip of the podcast. The full episode is going to be released later this week as we roll out episodes. You can check out the previous episode right here where me and Tommy actually talked about some other cool stuff about the military, and we're going to be doing this on a weekly basis. If you have a guest that you want to put down below in the comments, we can definitely share that and try and get them on as well. But as always, make sure you guys subscribe for more content here, and we will have videos every single week. Appreciate your guys' support. Love you guys. See you next time.